Okay. Okay, we're coming into this big slope mine here. And this is a pretty steep slope mine. It goes back to the late 1880s. And it was in operation up into the mid 1950s. But it was intermittent. It would be open for several years, then shut down 10, 20 years, then reopened again. So they've left the rails in here for the mine carts. So it's a pretty steep slope. I mean, it's about a 36 to 38 degree down angle. So, and it went pretty far, a couple of miles underground. So we're just going to keep proceeding on down and see what's see how far down this mine goes before we hit the water level.
Right there, you have a upper headers with skip
Okay.
The
It is so hot and humid topside that the humidity has mixed in with this cold air. And it's just created this dense fog. And what you got right there is one of the old cable hoist rollers right there. These will be mounted in between the rails, and the probably 1 3/4 inch hoist cable would pull these mine cars up from the depths. So that's the remainder of a electrical line cable, insulators. So the ceiling's about a good 40 feet high right here. So like I said, it's probably going to clear up a little bit further down, but right now this humidity from the top side and how hot it is mixing with the cold air, so you're going to have this dense fog part of the way down. Okay, that right there is an old work header that's collapsed, and right across the way here is another old work header. They had it boarded up, and part of that's collapsed up there. So like I said, this is one steep slope mine. And when you come out, you just got to take your time, because it's almost straight up when you're looking down at the bottom. So anyway, looks like the fog is clearing up a little bit, and we'll just keep proceeding further down. Okay, we're still proceeding down, and you've got an old work header right there, and you've got a work header right here, but the front of it's collapsed, and so starting to clear up a little bit more. We've probably got another 1,000 feet to go before we even get near the water line. I said this is one deep mine. Right, still proceeding down, dropped to about 300 more feet. We've got about 800-900 more to go. So the water's dropped even further. So can't even see it. So that's another collapsed header, the whole ceiling right there. Another hoist cable roller. So I wouldn't want to bend these guys to lay these rails, man. This must have been horrific. Full-size rails in here. They were bringing out trips of mine cars, not a 12-ton skip car, but in groups of like 3, 4 mine cars that were loaded. They had a rotary tipple at the top. So anyway, we'll just keep proceeding on down. So that's the main slope right there. Got an electrical line here. This is just one of the old work headers that goes back to the late 1890s, early 1900s. You can see they've just stacked it up. And those are all discarded rails, timber props or roof props. Looks like some cable in there, some pipes, probably compressor line or even water. But they just use that as a junkyard. So, but, hi. And we'll just keep moving on down. But this is a humongous main haulage way. The average ceiling is about 40 feet, the height of it. So, all right. Taking a break. It's pretty precarious making your way down this slope. All this loose rock right here. The cross ties right here, which in maybe in other mines that started the cross ties be pretty solid, but these are pretty moist, rotten. So if you step on them, you just go sailing. So just kind of have to pick your way down here. And you got another work header up there. And, so we've probably got about 600 more feet, best guess, to get to the water line. So they worked this mine for many years. Like I said, it was open and closed, I think 3 different times. And it was owned by 2 different companies. So, but anyway, we'll just keep making our way on down. You can see what the rail connector plates are right there. So, just I wish there was a video of how these guys laid these rails. Man, that must have been some terrible kind of job. So, all right, and we'll keep heading on down. Okay, so we've dropped probably about another 300-400 feet, and that big black mass straight down, steep angle, that's where the water line is. So that's where we're going, and we're going to be checking out some of these old work headers that are to the left and right. So, okay. Okay, Mr. Box is checking out this work header that was sealed up. And they did this to a lot of them to keep the airflow from the air shaft, the fans, to force the air down the slope so it wouldn't deviate off these old work headers. So they sealed that up with rocks, mortar. Excellent job too, man. That's first class. There's some old rails right there. So this is just an old, like I said, an old work header. So. All right, keep going on down. Good size comparison, Mr. Box, with the ceiling. Looks like a midget. And so we're about 200 feet from the water line right now. So, got the old hoist cable roller. So you just have all kind of discarded stuff when they abandoned this mine It's amazing, absolutely amazing. They left the rails in here. Probably just said the heck with it, but most mining companies took the rails out because they were so valuable. All right, we'll just keep heading on down. I can't really film walking on down, just slipping and everything, so it's just better to just take a video standing still than move to another position. All right, that's one of the old work headers right there. See some of the shales come down from the ceiling. So you've got the ore seam here, and that is the remainder of a roof timber support, roof support. Went all the way to the ceiling right there. And you can see it just rotted right there where Mr. Box is and fell over. So must have been impressive. There's some ore down there that they had like 30, 40 feet, you know, basically almost telephone poles for the main slope roof support. And Mr. Box was pointing out there's another work header over here that was sealed off, but this one was sealed off with timber. It's kind of falling down there. It's pretty interesting. So, all right, well, we're getting down near the bottom, that's for sure. Here's the remains of that wooden timber prop. And what you've got here is an intact minecart wheel right here. That's heavy. So Mr. Box, he is at the water line right now. So and just where he's at, sometimes you can look under the water where the rails are and they look a little, you know, like they're bent, but he's near where the area, according to the maps, where the mine starts to level out, and then probably another 1,000 or more feet will start descending again following the ore seam. So anyway, I'll make my way on down there. All right, man, so here we are. Down here at the bottom, you can see the rails are intact, going right into the water. And they start to level off a little bit. So, water's pretty clear. Almost looks like aqua green or something.
Really does, and it's crystal clear though.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Usually you find them all muddy, with that grimy stuff on top. But anyway, so this is the bottom. This is as far as you can go in this slope mine. So we're about, from the surface depth, we're about 400 and probably 50 feet from the surface, and about 14 to 1,500 feet in length from the surface. So it tells you, and this mine levels off, then it starts dropping again. I think it had a surface depth of, when it was in operation at the very end of somewhere between 1,500 to 1,600 feet surface depth. And it was about 2 miles in length. So, and that right there is what they were after, the red ore, right there.
Come down closer here.
All right.
Picture of water.
Okay, so this is at the bottom. Right here you can see the rails in the water. And that right there is a partially flooded work header. And in the 1940s, late 40s, they started using roof bolts. And these became the standard, of course, in coal mines, but they were using these in the ore mines as well. So, here he is. So, that is really crystal clear, man. That's some of the clearest water I've seen in a ore mine, or really in any mine. So, let's just give you all this water is underneath the earth, man. All these underground aquifers. So, all right. Okay, so Mr. Box is right down there above the water line. So what I'm going to do is try to make my way through this work header and push down to the left where that work header is on the right. It's partially flooded, and see if we can just get access. And this, let's just head through there. Okay, made it through the opening into this work header, and you can see just how a lot of that's fallen down, but it's in relation to the original ceiling, so that's about a good 25 feet high right there. You got some tramway rail remains still in place. One of them's actually just turned up. I don't know if that was intentional or the ceiling falling down did that, but we're going to make our way down this way and see what we can find. Okay, so
One more picture.
moved around the corner here, came in from up above. So Mr. Box is around the corner on the main slope. This is a partially flooded work header here. So I came around to position some of these lights because he is a fantastic photographer. So he was able to use the lights right here to get a beautiful picture from the other side of the slope with the water, because, you know, it's just a beautiful bluish green tint. And just beyond where the that post is sticking up out of the water, those are the rails. So, and you've got the roof bolts, but those are the lights I set up there. So anyway, that is pretty neat. He takes excellent photos. Just be careful. He is actually going to come around the corner of the slope. The water's not too deep. He's going to come right up around the corner here. There he comes. Watch your step.
That's probably steep. This is the light studio.
Yeah, welcome to Aqua World. All right, good deal. Okay, so we've left the slope and we're on this work header, and that's part of the header right down there.
Looks like it's got water in it.
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like here.
You know, we're 25 feet up. You know, it seems like it's dry.
Yeah. It's interesting. Okay, so like I said, Mr. Boxcamp made his way around into the work header from the slope. So we have come over somewhat of a pile from the ceiling right here. And we're going to head into this work section here. It's got some rail sections that remain here. Let's see what this looks like in a minute.